Sports Explosion. This is a show where we take in-depth analysis of every sporting discipline across Africa. So today, our major focus for today will be the game between Egypt. They are playing Libya at 6 p.m. today. So we'll have an Egyptian journalist who will join us via Zoom for the discussion. We'll be doing a bit of the discussion later on when we'll be joined by a volleyball specialist, a coach from one of the volleyball teams in Ghana. But I understand I'm already joined in the studio by Hosem El Aka of Pharaoh 11. He reports for Pharaoh 11. He's been reporting for Pharaoh 11 for 20 good years, reporting about Egypt, the national team of Egypt, for the past 20 years. For the past 20 years. So basically that is all about that. So we'll go on the line, we'll go to Zoom, and then we'll speak to the journalist from Egypt. Hello, Hosem.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. Yourself?
I'm doing very well. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Okay. First of all, I want to congratulate you because reporting on the Egyptian national team for 20 good years is no easy task.
No, it's not. It's taking some years off my life, giving me a bunch of white hairs. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So later today, in the World Cup qualifiers, Egypt will be facing Libya. What should we expect? What are the initial reports from Egypt?
So that game is actually on Friday.
Mm.
There's a couple games. Egypt-Libya is on Friday, and then the other game on Monday.
Mm.
But as far as what to expect, honestly, your guess is almost as good as ours because we have a brand new manager, Carlos Queiroz, a Portuguese manager who's coached Iran and Colombia, a bunch of other teams before. Was an assistant for Sir Alex Ferguson at Manchester United back in the day. So this will be his first official match in charge of the Egyptian team. Of course, he coached in a friendly a few days ago against Liberia. But as far as what to expect, well, we're missing two of our best players that play for Al Ahly, of course, the CAF Champions League champions back to back. And we were surprised that those two players were left out of the squad. Those are Mohamed Magdi Afsha and Mohamed Sharif, who was the top scorer in the domestic Egyptian league last season. So he's already putting his own fingerprint on the team, Carlos Queiroz. And we'll see what happens. We need the 3 points for sure at home on Friday, and preferably 3 points when we return to play Libya and Benghazi on Monday.
Well, that will be the initial take on the show. But if you just joined us, we are discussing the Egyptian national team because they are taking on Libya in the World Cup doubleheader. But let me take your view on this. You are missing, like you stated, you are missing two of your stars. What is Mohamed Hafsa and Sharif, who all play for El Ali. Did the manager actually give clarifications on the reasons why he dropped these two?
He did not. He actually played it very politically and said, I only speak about one Egyptian player. He said that Egyptian player is the team itself. And, like our brothers in Ghana, we've been suffering from a real drop in form the past few years. Our football has not been up to expectations. You guys are familiar with that. We were at a certain level and went down. So we're not so much in a position to, to attack the coach or criticize his selection so much, especially because he just started. But no, to answer your question, he didn't give a real explanation. The speculation is that they are very tired and fatigued after a very long domestic season, cup, league, and then the Champions League. And don't forget, they played in the Club World Cup as well.
Yeah.
So that's the speculation.
Okay, so we'll take the speculation and then we'll delve into issues. But I was listening to one of his interviews, which personally, yourself and I, we had a bit of issues on. His system. These days, we have managers bringing in systems, and there are other managers who are only after the win. They did draw the line between the two, winning or playing a system, because the Egyptian national team, after their glory days when they won the African Cup of Nations and qualified for the World Cup, it seems to be a team which is on rebuilding. Is Carlos the one bringing in a system, or he's the one coming to win the African Cup of Nations or potentially the World Cup, qualifying Egypt to the World Cup?
Yeah, I think he's definitely bringing in an identity which the team has lacked, like you said, since the World Cup. His identity is an aggressive counterattack. He's considered a defensive coach, much like Hector Cooper was, who coached us in the World Cup, of course, but in a very different way. You know, as you know, I'm sure obviously no two coaches are the same, even if both are considered defensive. Now he said himself, you know, I'm not here to revolutionize football, and you know, I don't think we're going to see anything really different in terms of the way Egypt plays. But as far as the effectiveness and the results, I think we're going to see, you know, I think we're going to see consistency in a positive way. But who knows? You know, his biggest enemy right now is time. He just started, and just a couple weeks after starting, he's going to have his first official match. So I know Coach Milovan is going to have a similar issue with Ghana. I do think he's the guy who's going to at least give us a chance. And I feel like if we don't qualify for the World Cup or do well at AFCON, I think then we're going to blame mainly the FA for being so late to hiring Kirosh, as well as this just not maybe being the best generation of players for Egypt.
Well, speaking about generation of players, your goalkeeper, El Shanawi, there are reports that he's unwell, he's nursing a bit of injury. Any reports from Egypt which suggest otherwise?
Yeah, so he had a muscle strain or a muscle pull of some kind yesterday, and X-rays were negative, thankfully. So it seems like he's going to be limited in training today and tomorrow. There was a report that he requested to just be injected with painkillers and play that game on Friday. So we'll see if that happens. So it seems to be day to day, and I don't think we're going to know for sure until Friday if he's going to play. But I think it's trending in the right direction for him to play.
Well, speaking more about the Egyptian national teams and the World Cup qualifiers, because against Libya, do they come as a tougher opposition for Egypt? Gone are the days when Libya was no name no force in the African Cup, in the African terrain. But these days, they seem to be putting the right structures. And do they pose a threat against the Egyptian national team?
They absolutely pose a threat. They've earned their 6 points. They've earned being first place in the group. You know, they've had a lot of stability with Coach Clemente, who, you know, they've camped with in Turkey. They played a bunch of friendlies. They've been together for months. So they've been a lot more stable than Egypt, and I think that's helped them. Now, if you go on paper, you know, player for player, you know, Egypt should be the better squad. But as a team, collectively, you know, Libya has earned every bit of their 6 points. Now, the way they play, I don't think they're going to change it now that they're playing Egypt. I think they're going to sit back and they're going to try and counterattack. But do they pose a threat? Absolutely. And even if they don't get a positive result on Friday, a win at home in Benghazi, and they're right back, you know, in first place. So they definitely pose a threat.
Okay. So Libya have 6 points, Egypt on 4 points, Gabon and then Angola have 1 and 0 points respectively. That is the Group F of the World Cup qualifiers, the road to the World Cup. Let's do a bit more discussions on the friendly game between the Egyptian national team and then Liberia, because I understand Carlos requested for the friendly game before he actually had his first match. So the first hand, he has opportunity to see his players before he plays. How instrumental is such a move for a manager who just comes into his side? Because Milovan Rajevac didn't request for something like that for the Black Stars.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely instrumental. And the previous manager, Hassan al-Badri, was criticized heavily for not taking advantage of FIFA windows, not playing friendlies, and just generally not seeming so proactive with his management of the team. Now, obviously, this friendly against Liberia was outside of the FIFA window, so Liberia didn't have its full squad. Egypt didn't have its full squad either, but in fairness, you know, Egypt's domestic league is stronger, so they had a stronger squad. But absolutely instrumental to be able to see those local players, those domestic-based players before the official match against Libya, and just any day you can get with them when you just started, any single day you can have with those players is very, very beneficial, because you're not going to be able to install a full system in just a few days or a few weeks. So, yeah, I wish we had more time and could play more friendlies. But I think he already had it in his mind that he was going to call up most of Egypt's professionals overseas. So he just wanted to see which of the local contingent that he was going to call up, and I think it was tremendously beneficial for sure.
We've seen the return of one of the veteran Egyptian players, Fathi. One might say he's old, others might say he's not the man at the moment because he's not having the best of he's not had the best of seasons with the Egyptian national team, and then going out and then coming back. Let's talk about his return to the Egyptian national team, because Fathi in the day used to be one of the best players, and then the one commanding the Egyptian national team, encouraging the players. Is he going to play an exceptional role in the new squad, or they brought him for purposes of motivating the players?
Yeah, you bring up a great point. Of course, Ahmed Fethi was like a staple. Ahmed Fethi was like, I mean, the guy was instrumental in 3 straight AFCON titles. And his inclusion, I don't want to say anything bad about Ahmed Fethi. Of course, he's past his prime and all that. He's still a good right back. But his inclusion is more of an indictment of how thin Egypt is at right back. The right back position is a problem for Egypt and has been for a little while now. For a while it was left back, now it's right back. So I don't expect him to start. It's possible. But I think his inclusion is more to have that, that veteran presence, that experience. And if for any reason Ahmed Tawfiq, who should probably start at right back, even though he's traditionally a defensive midfielder, if he goes down or moves position, then Fethi would play. So I don't expect him to start, but I expect him to have a positive influence for sure. And by the way, there was a bit of a controversy within Egypt because he's the most veteran player, and traditionally in Egypt, that most veteran player becomes the captain. But that changed under Hassan al-Badri, the previous coach, who made Mohamed Salah the captain. So there was a little bit of maybe some slight tension there that if Fethi's coming to the team, isn't it disrespectful for him not to be the captain? But apparently that those issues have been alleviated. So Salah remains the captain and Fethi's available.
Speaking about Mohamed Salah, obviously he is one of the best Egyptian players at the moment. Playing in England, his numbers this season are tremendous. Coming into the national team, how does he translate this? Because we see Salah performing so good for his club side, but when he comes to the national team, he's not, let me use in quotes, he's not so exceptional in the national team.
Yeah, so like if you look at his goal scoring record for Egypt, it's tremendous. But of course, he doesn't have that same squad around him, that he has at Liverpool, obviously. So it's hard to see the exact same Salah. He doesn't have that support. He doesn't have Sadio Mane. He doesn't, have Firmino, etc. I think he's going to like what he sees out of Carlos Queiroz because he plays a lot of that high press, counter press game. Now, I don't know if the Egyptian players have the stamina to do that the full game. They certainly don't have the stamina of Liverpool. But I also expect there to be a special plan for him from Carlos Queiroz that perhaps, maybe prevents him from needing to play so much defense, to kind of preserve his energy so he can attack there from the right. And look, we need him. This is why you have a star player. You're behind in World Cup qualifying, and you need your star players to step up to the challenge. So I really hope he's up to it.
Well, I wish you all the best in your endeavors with the Libyan national team. But I will not leave you without you predicting your possible scoreline for the game between yourself and then Libya. What are you envisaging in this game? Is Egypt just going to have it as a walkover, or Libya might just pull a surprise? Per your books.
Well, you put me on the spot here. This is really tough to predict. But the game's at home. Obviously, there are no fans in attendance at this match, but it's tough. Maybe I'll say 1-0 to Egypt. As far as a walkover, no way.
Okay. This is a special request from my producer. He says he wants you to touch on the contractual details of Carlos, the new manager. Is there any special numbers, additional bonuses if he qualifies for the World Cup, if he wins the African Cup of Nations? This is a special request from my producer.
So that information has been really difficult to come by. We've been looking for it. So I'm sorry to say I don't have those details. The only thing that I've heard and read repeatedly is that the combined salaries of Kirosh and his assistants amounts to about $100,000 per month. So I don't know how much of that is Carlos Kirosh and how much of that goes to his assistants, but that's the only figure I've seen quoted multiple times.
Okay, thank you so much. And then this is Ghana. So when you come to Ghana, we say Akwaba, meaning welcome. So
Apabwa?
Akwaba, Akwaba.
Akwaba.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. How do you say it?
Well, I appreciate that.
Okay. So
yeah, in Egypt, when welcome, we'll say Ahlan Biku.
Ahlan Biku.
Perfect. You did that perfect. First try.
Whoa! I did well. Thank you so much for joining us, mate.
Thank you, and good luck to the Black Stars as well. Take care.
Okay, good luck to the Egyptian national team as well.
I appreciate it. Take care.
Okay, sure. We'll delve into other issues shortly because we're having the coach of a volleyball national team, one of the volleyball teams in Ghana. But if you were listening to us, we were discussing the Egyptian national team into depth. A reporter from Egypt, he's been covering the Egyptian national team for the past 20 years. He even has gray hairs covering the national team. That is how much he loves the Egyptian national team. He reports for Pharaoh 11. You can follow them on social media platforms if you want Egyptian news. But as well, we'll be giving you more Egyptian news on our private pages as well as Ghanaian news and all the other African countries. If you want news, Adwa News is Adwa Sports News is the news you should be watching. Stick and stay with us. We'll take a quick time. When we come back, we'll be doing not football, but this time volleyball.
Nadcoff Physiotherapy and Wellness Center presents Black Stars footballer Jerry Akaminko. Jerry chose Nadcoff Physiotherapy and Wellness Center to increase his performance. Their team of specialists use modern trends in physiotherapy to manage complex conditions in pain management, stroke rehabilitation, pediatric physiotherapy, sports injury rehabilitation, weight management, and so much more. Nadcoff Physiotherapy and Wellness Center, your reawakening destination. Contact them now.
We are one man short. Should we invite him?
Yeah.
It be old cargo.
Can I join you guys?
Yeah. Always drink fresh, natural X mineral water.
You still got it.
Always keep hydrated naturally. That's my secret.
Manufactured with the primary aim of preserving nature's finest minerals necessary for a healthy mind and body. X Natural Mineral Water. Simply natural.
Hello, my name is Nane Ikekufu of Cling Event Ghana. October is here again and it's the Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Guess what? Cling is excited to partner with Sonotech this year to offer free breast screening during the month of October, from 1st October to the 31st of October. Yes, free breast screening. Did you know in 2020, there were 2.3 million women diagnosed with breast cancer, and out of that, 685,000 died? Breast cancer treatment can be highly effective, especially when detected early. So, you must go and check. I will be there, and so should you. Sonotech, your total healthcare partner for life.
Football, now we are on another ball, but this time it is volleyball. Because we have the Greater Accra Volleyball, one of the teams representing in the studio. They are from Emmanuel Presby Volleyball team. They are based in Accra. And I have inside the studio the coach of the side, which is, his name is Nanaya. Coach, you're welcome. I like the grey hair. You're looking good in the grey hair. Something I wish for since I was a kid.
Don't worry, you get it.
I'll get it. You'll get to a time when I get it. I won't want it. Okay, so I'm also joined by the captain. He's heavily built. See the arms. He's by the name Isaac Barnes. Isaac, you're welcome into the studio.
Thank you, boss.
This is Sports Xplosion. We are looking at volleyball. Earlier, if you joined us about 15 minutes ago, we were discussing the Egyptian national team, but this time we have moved swiftly from football to another ball, which is volleyball. Let me start with your initial thoughts. Any agendas, any reports, anything surrounding your camp? Give me the juice.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to greet your distinguished viewers and all volleyball fans in Ghana. I think we started this year with the Greater Accra Volleyball League somewhere around May. And currently, going forward, we are going to play week 23, come Saturday. And so this
week 23?
Yes. This has been the activities we've been running throughout from May to date. So apparently, this is what we are doing for now. Then that is where we've got into at the week 23 stage of the
Ghana Volleyball League. Now it is called, basically, when you hear something like Ghana Volleyball League, the Greater Accra edition, means they don't have a sponsor. We'll delve into sponsor because we need sponsors. Yes, definitely. But you are the captain of the side, the Emmanuel Volleyball team.
Yes, boss.
You're calling me boss. Okay, so you're welcome. But any exceptional things that has happened, any reports from your camp that you want me to know before I even start the show, because this is the preliminaries. This is the new vibe before the main event. So give me some juice, something our viewers and yourself you want to let out, and then my viewers would like to hear.
Is it from my camp or from my
your
team?
Camp, from your camp, anything.
Anything.
Just give me any report.
For my team, I don't think we have any problem from my team.
Nationally, you don't have any problem.
For national, there's a lot of problem. Which
so let's out one problem before we start the show.
It's all finance problem. Yeah.
Okay. So the finances dominate every sector of football and volleyball. All the balls. Let's delve into the issues. Now, we're discussing the Greater Accra Volleyball League first. You gave your initial thoughts talking about the volleyball, how it's going so far. But the start of the season, how did they start like? Yeah, in week 23, how did they start like? What were your problems apart from finances? Because when it gets to finances, we'll be discussing finances.
Okay, I think we started prepared, as in Emmanuel Presby, but alongside the way, you see, majority of the guys playing are workers, and because of work, they do close late, and we don't have time to train. Okay, so apparently now we train only 2 days in the week to go and play a match on Saturday, which we even thought wouldn't help us, but from so far from week 1 to week 22 that we've played, even with that little effort we pushed in our training, we are not doing bad, because just last Sunday we beat Ghana Prisons, who have been training from Monday to Friday. We just beat them 3-0. You see, so hadn't been that, if we have enough time, or we have that ample time to ourselves for the guys to come for training, for us to organize ourselves very well, we would have been on top of the league by now. So that is our challenge now. That we started youngly, okay, and now age is catching up. Work has come in, marriage has come in. Some has to do, but because the love of the game is there, they forgo everything, and after a long day's work, 5 o'clock, everybody tries to pass by to play a volleyball, knowing that on a Saturday there will be a league match, so that I can also participate.
So basically, the coach is trying to say the training, the inability for them to gather and train properly. Captain.
Boss.
I'll
keep on calling you boss, so don't worry.
So your coach has cited that your inability to train daily and then coming on once in a while doesn't help the side. And what would be your bite on this?
I think he has said almost everything, but what I'll add up to, top up to what he said concerning my team is that although we don't have enough training time, as he said, but because of the unity is there. I don't know whether you've experienced or if you witnessed me playing volleyball. I mean,
let me promise. This weekend I'll come and watch one.
I will urge you to come maybe when we have a tough match this weekend.
The easier matches are.
No, that wouldn't be nice. You won't enjoy it.
I won't enjoy it.
Yes.
You want the tougher matches.
Yes.
I like your confidence.
Yeah. Sure. So to chip in, because of our unity, okay, and then also, sports is sports. If you love the game, you love the game. You don't need to wait for someone to tell you, hey, wake up morning and then do some shake up or do some running, because we know what is ahead of us. Myself, because of work, as you can see, I'm from work. Do you get it? Because of work, I don't get the time, as he said. But I make sure every morning I try to do something. Just run a little bit, do some small exercise before going to work, just to keep the shape. Do you get it? Yeah. So with my team, it's all about unity. That is what is keeping us on.
Okay. One of the major issues you guys were facing is the fact that volleyball, being an indoor game, needs to be played indoor. But I understand you guys train on a concrete field.
Sure.
How bad is it? Let me start from the captain.
It's very bad. Myself, I'm in the national team. I'm the national captain when it comes to beach volleyball, which I've even been
the national captain when it comes to beach volleyball. Well,
yeah, I was playing there. I was playing indoor as well.
Let me call you boss.
But you're still the boss. So with the concrete, it hurts a lot. You see 32 years, a good player, and then because of the concrete, he's no more playing because of injuries. But when you travel outside, you see a 42-year player who is still playing actively. So with the cement, I mean the concrete.
Okay, so these are some of the volleyball visuals, but this is a bit of more women, and then it's a blend of all volleyball activities that happen in Ghana. So, Captain, you understand?
Okay, so as I was saying, it's very bad. It's very bad, and because of that, when we travel outside, sometimes our performance is very poor. We need to get used to the court, as in the indoor court, before we can even win a match, which is very bad.
Let me come to the coach, because basically you train the lads to actually put out their best. How bad is the concrete pitches for your volleyball players? Because naturally, volleyball is a game that you can go down. When I was in school back in SHS, volleyball was a game I loved, but I didn't get the opportunity to play because I think there were people better than me. All I did was every time when the ball comes, bing, and I just did that. So, coach, let in on the info.
I think in Ghana, for instance, I think we started playing volleyball in sand. Most of the clubs in Greater Accra started playing in sand. There were few back then concrete courts, few of them. Now, as time evolves, most of the clubs have bought into the idea of building concrete courts. But the game itself is being played indoor, where there is no air, there is no exposure to the sunlight, rain. Okay, you are in an enclosed area to play. And because it is exposed to, we are exposed to air, rain, sunshine. At times on the court, just like he said, you see somebody like, I still play though. I'm grown. I'm grown. But because of the hardness of the concrete that we are playing on, you see, it will get to a time, the next 2 or 3 years, we wouldn't get players to play because we are putting pressure on our body, especially on our knees.
The joint.
The jumping, landing on the hard floor. It is not helping us. In Ghana here, I take UCC, who have been able to build an indoor facility for the students to use over there. And we can't travel from here to UCC to go and use their facility. So we still have to manage with the concrete that we have in our various localities to play the game, just to manage ourselves small and enjoy the game we love. So with the concrete there, it's not helping us, but that is
what we have.
That is the option we have here.
Well, the concrete would certainly help you, but indeed, that's what we have, and we have to manage for now. Let's come to finances. Like every facility, every infrastructure, everything boils down to money. How has your finances been this season? Because already you are in game week 23, and coming from week 1, there will be traveling, there will be finances, transport. Like you stated, it's all about money. Because if there was so much money pumped into volleyball, I don't think some of you will be going to work. You would have taken this as a full-time job, but now you have to balance the books. Coach,
it's not easy. For we Emmanuel Presby Church, we are fortunate because we are under the church, the Emmanuel Presby Church at Medina. So they take care of us. Okay. So not full responsibility, but they do take care of us. We give them a budget. They don't reject our budget. Everything we put on the budget, they make sure they give it to us. But our other civilian clubs, especially, is very difficult. It's very, very, very difficult. We try to seek sponsorship for the league, for the Greater Accra League, which nothing fruitful has come out of it as at now. And we are trying to, we are struggling. We are struggling. Because
so the best word won't be trying, but struggling.
Because every week you have to travel. You are going with people. they will eat, they will drink water,
they will sleep.
They will sleep. How do you put this thing? If you don't have somebody, a big backbone behind you, supporting you, how do you do it? I take Labadi, I take TCL, I take Osu Youth. Okay.
You are the only manager for all this.
No.
Oh, okay.
The other civilian clubs. Okay. I'm talking about the other civilian clubs because they are managing. Individuals are managing them. They have to struggle to pay their registration fees to participate in the league. But all these ones, apart from what we are doing, it is the civilian teams that feed the security services, the players to play for them. Because after all this that we do, when a security team sees you have a good player, he will come and take your player and enlist the player into the service. Who loses? The civilian team loses again.
Because you don't give me anything.
No, I don't get anything from the player going out. Okay, and all the cost comes back to the coaches, the managers, and all handlers of the team. It's very difficult. We will appeal to corporate Ghana if they should look at the lesser known sports more, especially volleyball, because had it been that for over 40 years Ghana is looking for their African Cup of Nation trophy. If an eye has been kept on volleyball, by now we would have brought them something. Quite recently there was an African championship which Ghana couldn't go because of finances. We couldn't participate. And we have a very strong national team in the country, whereby if we had gone for that competition, we would have easily won the game and be at least first or second or third. Okay, so it's our problem.
Finances play a major role in whether or not a federation or an association, or even better, a team will progress when it comes to either sports that they participate in. Let me read some of the messages that are coming through because I have a couple of them here. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. I'm Foko Mark, watching you live from Sokoban. In fact, you guys are doing a good job. Thank you so much. This one is coming from another person from Sokoban. Wow, the Sokoban family. Okay, so in fact, you guys are doing a good job. Keep it up. Says Chelsea will win this year's EPL. Yes, indeed, Chelsea will win. But right now, we are talking about volleyball because we need money for the volleyball association. We need money for teams competing in the volleyball league in Ghana, the Greater Accra volleyball team in Ghana. We need money for the Presby Emmanuel volleyball team. Captain, speaking about finances, how do your boys, sometimes as a captain, you're a leader, the players come to you. Perhaps you are doing a job, a well-to-do job. Sometimes I know you have to cover money for some of the players because not all hands are the same. So definitely there'll be one or two lads who will come to you. How does it feel? And then I want you to make an appeal to corporate Ghana to actually come to your aid.
As my coach said, okay, with my team, I'm not going to say we are catered 100%. Do you get it? But at least whatever budget we give to the church, they make sure they do what we say. I mean, what is on the budget. So with my team, I don't think we're facing much problems. But with the other teams, as he said, it's sometimes difficult for them. Okay, sponsorship doesn't just come in just money form. It can be in a form of product, can be in a form of JC or anything. So we are.
That reminds me, there is this foreign agency that I was doing a bit of research on, and one of the tricks the owner of the company actually told me is he doesn't have a lot of money to give his staff. They don't get what they deserve. But one thing they never lack is food. When you have food, you don't think about other things. So corporate Ghana could be providing water. Some might be providing transportation. There could be others. Hello, Captain.
Sure. You know, my experience myself, as I said, I play beach volleyball too, and I'm the captain. I was able to organize a tournament.
Solely?
Just everything by me, myself.
Wow.
Do you get it? And the sponsorship, I think 80% of the sponsorship, they all came in products. Blue skies, which you know. they gave me products. At least when on the court playing boundaries, you need some water, some
Energy.
juice and all that. So it's not all about money, as I said. Okay, so products can also help. So we just pleading. We just pleading.
Yeah, okay. So they are still pleading to the corporate bodies to actually come to their aid. They certainly, everything is not about money, clearly. Because there are other booths that you can also fill. You can bring in your water company can bring in your sachet company, your drinks, because they need a lot of energy. Even energy gums can help you.
Exactly.
Too. But let's look at how we can uplift the Greater Accra the Volleyball Association. Just Greater Accra. Let's stick to Greater Accra. Then we go to the larger body. How can we uplift, Coach, in your view? How can we uplift the Greater Accra Volleyball?
I think with the current administration of Mr. George Tete, who happens to be the chairman of the association, he's doing very well because since he took over the mantle 8 years ago, volleyball has been active and running for this past period. The only thing that is not helping us is because we don't take any form of, let's say, gate fee when we are playing matches, because we play openly. Everybody passes
instead of an indoor game.
Yeah, so that when you enter, we can get something out of it. You pay something to
even
come
if
and
it's
watch.
one seed, you have 50 people.
Yeah,
50
sure.
citizens.
Yeah, so that we can put it down. So we until I believe until we get maybe a center which is well organized, say
an enclosed area,
with chairs, canopy,
a bit of canopy,
covered and something, so that we all play the game at one center. Fans who comes in to watch the game pay something small to help the association grow, because we've sent letters out to corporate Ghana, and we are still waiting on them to at least respond to some of our needs and requests. If one company promised to take the leg for a year, he said it, but they have not come yet on board. We are waiting on them. If it so happens, we will thank God. But we are still pleading on corporate Ghana. When we come to them, they should look at us so that we can also get some flexibility around us.
Okay, this is coming from Teacher Kofi from Manchester. Barnes, he says he's proud of you. Keep it up.
Thank you, Teacher Kofi.
So
that's where I'm coming from. So
you're coming from all the way from Manchester.
No, that's where I'm from. That's my hometown. So.
Well, I stayed in Cape Coast between 2013 to 2016, thereabouts. Yeah, and I love Cape Coast. So if you're from that side, you have a special place in my heart. But the Voltarians who are watching, don't go far, because you also have a place here.
So I also want to chip in something concerning about the uplifting of the game. I think then for the game to be attractive, I think you guys, if I say you guys, the media is also part. Okay, excuse me, it's not all about Black Star. And we see how attractive Black Star, when they are playing, how you guys every TV station will be showing Black Star. Do you get it? We only play on Saturday. As my coach said, if we're able to get one center, okay, for sponsorship to come in, depends on the population at the center.
The publicity.
Because I can't sponsor a team or sponsor a league and then come and see only 1 or 2 spectators. Do you get it? And for us to get more spectators, it all depends on you, the media. So I think you also have to play a part in volleyball.
Certainly, Adoatv is doing. We are doing our best.
Sure.
To propagate the message to the other media houses. But let's look at players acquisition, because one of the things you mentioned is the prison service, the services. Let me don't mention the services. When they want your player, they just come to the player. I'll enlist you into the national grade, which is the national either any of the services, and then the player just goes. you don't have the opportunity to have about 100 cedis, 200. Because if, mind you, a player might be bought for 2,000 cedis, then 5 players are enlisted. That will be a lot of money. So, coach, how do you think the federation can structure this?
The federation, led by Mr. Joy Tete when he took over, I think brought something in that when a player is being enlisted into any of the services, after the player passing out within 6 months, should pay, I think, an amount of 500 cedis to the former club. 500. Which the 500.
I want to say something. 500. I want to add 500.
The 500 crown
after the training.
Meaning that the services is after your training that you are being
the
qualified.
Player himself pays that amount, not the service.
The player himself,
not the service.
No. Because they will tell you the service he has given you work.
Job.
The service has given you work.
But this is a profession. It goes beyond just because this is volleyball, and then there is monetary attachment when you go to those foreign countries and you win tournaments. So certainly they are building a squad. They are taking out your great lad, and then
that is how come anytime we meet them, they beat the civilian teams because the best civilian players in your club
are in the national.
They are in the individual service team. So when you play them, you see you are always you are not at the same par with them, okay? Because assuming they come and enlist my captain right now, he's making his team stronger.
Likely.
He's making no, he won't go. He will not go. I'll not let him go. The money is 500. 50 cedis go to the association. Okay, so yes, and that 450 crown, we are saying that for the player in the for him before he was in his previous team, he played balls. He used their jersey. So at least that 450, he should give it to his former club to buy at least a ball, one ball to the club.
One ball.
One
which is
ball.
A 450 cedis.
It's now 500. The ball is now 500. So you see,
I train a player. The player goes through steps, 2 years, 3 years. The services come for the player, and then all I get is 450 cedis, which is equivalent to one volleyball. Wow, coach.
So that is what we are in, and even with that, the payment is not forthcoming. The payment,
the 500
is not forthcoming. You have to chase and chase and chase. It's not forthcoming.
Wow.
So with the finances and with this enlistment and player transfer issue there, we don't know how far we get to, because with the services, they claim they are giving the player a job. Okay. When he gets the job, it is for the player to come and do something for the club. A player might decide, I won't do.
Once they get to the service.
Once he gets to the service, he might decide, I won't do. But in the association, we have put down a rule that if the player does not fulfill that part of the 450 to the club, he shouldn't play any match. Even with that one, the players go behind and go and negotiate with their former coaches that they should give them time.
500 is time. Because I know with the services, when you're done with your 6 months, you have an amount of money, the back pay that you receive.
Yeah.
And they still go behind
and go and negotiate for time.
Force it. I mean, make it something permanent. Okay.
So there should be a body enforcing
because I don't blame the civilians. You know how the economy is.
It's hard.
And my level of playing, if I want to join the military or if I want to join the immigration service, it's easy. Do you get it?
Your height.
No, you forget about me. I'm talking about the other players. Do you get it? It's going to be like, oh, after SHS, I don't have anything doing. Work is hard, and with my talent, if I can get a job in the military, you know, young guys of today, soldier. I mean, do you get it?
Soldier police.
So if you are there and the military call you, soldier call you, oh, because of your talent, I want to give you uniform. I want to give you a job. No matter how it is, he will join. So sometimes I don't blame them. It's the association that need to enforce that. Do you get it?
Well, it's definitely all these things need to be enforced by the association because they are the head of, they have the authority to actually put things in place and then the others will follow. When you set the path right, the others, everyone will follow that path. But let's go into one of the final things. Let's talk about the toughest opponents in the league. Definitely, you mentioned the services because I heard the services. They buy the best players for cheap prices or even nothing.
Is it from the civilian side or general?
General. Let me make it general first. You, captain, take the general view and then the coach will limit it to just Greater Accra.
Generally, I would say it used to be police, but now we are all in good shape. Police was beaten by Ghana Air Force, I think, last 2 weeks. So for now, we don't know who is the toughest. Do you understand? Who is the toughest? We don't know for now.
Okay.
Yes.
Coach, your toughest opponents you have faced?
Air Force.
The Air Force.
Yes.
They have the best players.
Yeah.
Nearly.
Not the
because
best.
The captain is here. He's one of the best players.
I'll say Air Force because we went to Air Force Base and they beat us 3-1 at Air Force Base. When they came to Medina, the game they came to put up over there, we were surprised. We couldn't take one set. They beat us 3-0. Wow. And just within that week, on a Wednesday, we heard they have beaten Police 3-0. We said like, wow. Because we are a very tough side when you come to Medina.
Sure.
We
are a very tough side.
The home team.
So it is Prison just came to Medina to take 3-0 away. And when we heard that result that Air Force has beaten Police 3-0, we said yes. Because the game they came to put up at our place. Police might think, yes, we are police. We've been top. We are always on top. So we are just going. But the Air Force team, they were disciplined and they really trained very hard. So for now, currently, I see them as our biggest opponent.
Well, the Air Force certainly is a force to reckon with. Air and force. Volleyball. A game played in the air. No, okay. Any upcoming tournaments you want to talk about quickly?
Okay, so we still in our league. I think we are playing with 23, as I said, and we'll be playing to.
No, before you go on that, I want us to talk about Medina as a niche for volleyball, because my stay in Medina around Pantine, there was a small pitch. There was a woman. If she's pounding fufu, and we are playing volleyball, she'll come and play. After she'll go and pound the fufu. Let's talk about Medina as a niche for volleyball. Make it brief for me.
Okay, so Medina has really produced players for Ghana volleyball, and it has grown there. Volleyball has grown at Medina. I think we know of Seidu Ajinaku, we know of Shamsu, okay, we know of Kashmir. They all played Medina. They all hail from Medina, and because of their performances, Samshu went to US to go and play professional. Seidu Ajinaku also went to US to go and play professional. Okay, so and when they come down they come and help in the locality. So we see them and they play alongside with the up and coming ones. So apart from football in Medina, volleyball is the next the big game that is coming up over there when you take away football. Because with the football there, every corner has a pitch. For football, every corner has a pitch.
Talking about every corner having a pitch, Cape Coast or the Central Region is another place where you see volleyball everywhere you go.
Yeah.
You grew up in that side of the country.
Sure.
How is volleyball going on in Mankesim and Swedro, coming to Swedro? Because I know when we were back in the day, when we were in school, there were stars coming out from there. There were players who were actually brought into our schools just to come and play volleyball.
There are still teams in Central Region. Let me use Central Region because I've been to Apam. You know,
that is the place for volleyball.
no, and there's Swedro too.
There's Swedro.
Yes, Swedro too. You know, sometimes they will invite me just to play with them, just to inspire the young ones who are also interested in volleyball. So I would say volleyball in Central Region is also doing well. Trust me, they are doing well.
Okay, let's speak about the upcoming tournaments. You basically are playing the national league, for, the National Greater Accra League for now. Make it brief so that you can appeal to corporate body again for me.
Okay, so we have two competitions coming on. We have the intertribal district games.
Intertribal.
Yes, district games. That is the players within the league community, all the clubs playing the league. Everybody chooses his or her hometown. You go on the day, we push you to your hometown. You form a team. You play against another region, like so like Greater Accra will play Central Region, not the Central Region in Central Region itself, but the players just within the league. Just in Accra. That is one, and then there is one civilian competition which will be coming up in November. That one is solely for the civilians to play to see who is the best. So these are the two competitions ahead of us.
Captain, make an appeal. Watch into this camera. Make an appeal to corporate body to come to your aid.
We just pleading with not just the government, because if we always go governments, we need help and all that. But I think the individual companies can also help volleyball in Ghana. And trust me, volleyball is not just the one you played in SHS. Do you get it? So we're just pleading with you to come to our aid, to just support us. As I said from the beginning, it's not all about money. You buying water, JC drinks for the team, it's also sponsorship. Do you get it? So we're just pleading with them to come to our aid to support.
Coach, you appeal and then you drop out your numbers. If anyone wants to contact you to come and help you, come to your aid. Okay. Coach, your camera.
Thank you. So just as my captain has said, we just pleading to corporate Ghana, especially with Emmanuel Presby, because we've even gotten an invitation to travel to Senegal to go and play in a festival competition. We are appealing to corporate Ghana, individuals, all hands on deck. Let's push volleyball forward.
Your contact.
0244 982884.
0244
982884.
0244
982884.
Okay, this is how we call a wrap on the show. My name is Yampofu Jr. We discussed the Egyptian national team and finally we ended with volleyball, from football to volleyball basically. So if you need them, the Presbyterian volleyball, Presby Emmanuel volleyball team, if you need them, like he stated, his contact is out. You can call him, and then if you want direction to get to them and then you didn't get a number, after the show, our lines are active. Just contact us. We'll give you the number. Captain, you want to make it quick for me, please, my time.
If you are interested in volleyball and you want to learn volleyball and you want to play volleyball in Ghana, you are always welcome. Okay. You can still use same contact then.
Same contact if you want to play volleyball, if you want to reach the apex of your career when it comes to volleyball, go to Presby Emmanuel Volleyball and then they'll help you out. This is how we wrap up on the show. My name is Yampov Jr. Again, thank you so much for watching. News is up next at 6.